The story begins with Abby traveling from her hometown of Vegas to Sacramento. Through an email, she recounts everything to her father. It appears she has run away from Vegas to start a new life, far away from him. She's tired of paying off her father's debts and has enrolled in college for the new semester, determined to rebuild her life in a new city. As she reflects on her past, she remembers how her father shaped her into a professional poker player and taught her all the secrets of the game. Abby no longer wants to play poker. She's decided to go to college and live a normal life like everyone else her age. At the end of her email, she asks her father not to interfere until she's ready to talk. After meeting her friend and new roommate, America, the two head toward the dorms. America explains the dorm's current issues, then tells Abby about her boyfriend and invites her to hang out with them so they can all get to know each other. Abby initially refuses and asks for some time to settle in, but America doesn't take no for an answer.
I think there's a guy.
Shepley takes them to a frightening location where an underground event called Bloodbath is underway. The announcer introduces the fighters, including Travis, the reigning champion of the underground boxing ring. Abby tries to leave, but after a chance encounter with Travis, she decides to stay and watch the fight. She becomes completely captivated by Travis's looks, and he, even mid-fight, keeps trying to make eye contact with her. Travis eventually knocks out his opponent, and blood from the impact splatters onto Abby's clothes. He apologizes for the jacket while she stands frozen, staring at him. When Abby returns home, she can't shake the image of the bad boy from her mind. Thinking about Travis, she practically treats herself to a honeymoon in her imagination and even wakes up from dreams about him. She pulls her money out from under her mattress and heads to campus to finalize her enrollment. But the university doesn't accept cash for tuition. Payment is only possible through a bank transfer. Abby is underage, hasn't seen her mother in years, and explains that her father isn't a suitable guardian either. She gives these reasons to clarify why she can't pay online. She manages to get registered for this semester with cash, but she must complete her banking information as soon as possible. She recounts the whole ordeal to America. For next semester, Abby plans to find a job or apply for a scholarship since her cash will only cover the current term. When their coffees arrive, they talk about Travis, and Abby learns that Shepley is actually his cousin and that the two attend the same university. Travis arrives and teasingly calls Abby a pigeon. After they're introduced, Abby bluntly tells him he's not her type, while noting that Travis is everyone's type.
Travis Maddox.
He tries flirting with her unfazed. During class, Abby scrolls through pictures of Travis, practically drooling over how handsome he is.
Travis has been sitting behind her the whole time and tells her it's far too late to turn off her phone. She gets hit with a random question from the professor, and surprisingly, she answers it perfectly without any prior preparation, revealing just how sharp she really is. Abby brushes everything off and refuses to take responsibility for her behavior. She insists she'll never sleep with Travis. He says he's not trying to do that, he just wants to take her out to dinner. Abby refuses, but Travis still shows up at 8 to pick her up. She initially won't get on the motorcycle, but Travis is stubborn and eventually gets his way. They go to dinner. Abby makes him promise that if they're strictly friends, then the friendship can continue. Travis agrees to the rules, anything to keep her close. They begin learning more about each other. Abby discovers he participates in underground fights to pay his tuition. Alarmed, she quickly pulls away, not wanting to get too involved with him. The next day, while walking, she accidentally hits Parker's football with a frisbee, and that's how they meet. Abby seems to like him at first sight. When the dorm's water gets cut off, she has to stay at Shepley's place for a day, where she realizes Travis also lives. She tries to sneak out before running into him, but America convinces her to stay and promises that Travis won't bother her. Her father calls, asking her to visit him and pretending to be worried. Abby walks to Travis's room but quickly backs out. Moments later, she runs into him anyway, and he has already broken the terms of their agreement. Abby scolds him, calling him a walking disease. Against her will, she has to spend the night in Travis's room. She has a biology exam the next morning. She asks Travis for a pen, and after he points her toward it, she ends up face to face with his collection of toys, trying to amuse herself with them for a moment. When he comes back from the shower, Abby is left speechless, mesmerized by the beauty and definition of his body. The next morning, half asleep, she finds herself unconsciously checking Travis's gear shift at the exact moment he's going through a very normal part of a teenage boy's morning routine. America and Shepley rush into the room at the sound of their shouting. Abby calls Travis a pervert, but Travis hasn't done anything wrong. It's just a typical male morning. The incident leaves the two of them suspicious and annoyed with each other. The biology exam arrives and Abby hurries to campus. She slips on her way in, but still ends up earning a perfect score. She shows America the messages she's been receiving from Mick. America tells her to delete him from her life forever and never respond.
She randomly runs into Parker again and asks how his balls are doing. Travis arrives just in time to watch them talking. Parker invites her to dinner and Abby happily accepts. They agree to meet at 7. As she gets ready, she receives an apologetic text from Travis but ignores it, focusing instead on Parker and on making him fall for her. After dinner, Parker takes her, by coincidence, to the same place where Travis is scheduled to fight that night. At first, Abby thinks it's some kind of dramatic Shakespearean performance, but moments later she finds herself on stage introducing Travis for his next match. Parker idolizes Travis, calling him a wild animal in a cage. Abby slips out under the pretense of going to the bathroom and runs into Travis. He wants to know why she never answered his messages, but Abby feels no obligation to explain. After seeing Travis's opponent, she begs him to cancel the fight, convinced the man will kill him. Travis thanks her for the concern, but insists the guy won't even land a single hit. They end up making a bet. If Travis takes even one punch, he won't sleep with anyone for 3 months. But if he wins without being hit, Abby has to live with him for 1 month. She agrees, but firmly repeats that she will never sleep with him. Travis says that isn't what he wants. He just wants to be close to her. The fight begins, and Abby cheers for the opponent, begging him to land at least one punch on Travis. Travis dodges everything thrown at him. All Abby wants is a single hit. In the end, Travis knocks his opponent out without taking a single blow, winning the bet. He celebrates like a monkey after scoring a goal and tells her to pack her things. Abby is stunned by how this even happened. When she tells Travis about losing the bet, he's completely shocked and refuses to believe it. Abby explains that she lost, that she and Travis are only friends, and that nothing romantic will ever happen. Parker goes in for a goodbye kiss, but as soon as he sees Travis, he orders Abby out of the car immediately. He's terrified of Travis, and their relationship collapses right then and there. Abby is upset by the whole situation and warns Travis that if he ever touches her, she'll kill him. Travis understands perfectly. Days pass. They spend time together, sometimes chaotic, sometimes calm. Travis earns good money from his underground fights, and everything seems to be going exactly the way he wants. As the days go by, their relationship softens, to the point where he even takes Abby home to his father's house for lunch. There, she meets Travis's brothers. Their father welcomes her in. Before eating, they pray for their late mother, and afterward, they set up a poker table. Abby chooses not to play at first and offers to bring them drinks. A little later, she decides to join in. Travis warns her about how skilled his brothers are, but the way she shuffles the cards reveals her own mastery. In the end, she defeats all of them with a beautifully executed play. The family's father seems to know exactly who she is. Abby is the daughter of one of the most well-known poker players, a man who took her to every tournament he ever played. She herself is a formidable poker prodigy, nicknamed Lucky 13 when she was only 13. But the better she became, the worse her father got, and she eventually had to take responsibility for paying off all his debts. Apparently, the entire family are fans of her father, and they all try to take pictures with her. As the final days of the semester approach, Abby and Travis's relationship becomes incredible. America sees how close the two have become, but Abby hides it completely and insists that she and Travis appearing as a couple is absolutely impossible. Mick keeps messaging her, saying how much he misses her. Travis walks over to the bed and tries to tickle her. Suddenly, they find themselves tangled in deep, breathless kisses. Abby pulls away. They both know they've completely fallen for each other. She pushes him back again and rushes to the bathroom. She calls America to tell her what happened, confessing that she's in love with him, and if she goes back into that room, she won't be able to control herself. Meanwhile, Travis is getting himself ready for Abby's return when he sees suspicious messages from an unknown man popping up on her laptop. Hurt, he leaves the house. Abby, unaware of anything, goes looking for him but can't find him. He finally returns in the morning drunk and accuses her of playing him because she already has a boyfriend. Mick is Abby's father, but Travis has misunderstood everything. He apologizes, but it's useless.
She's seen a side of him she doesn't like.
The last day of their bet ends with her walking out of the house. Parker approaches her and, after a long time apart, asks her out to dinner again. Over dinner, they talk about their future. Parker responds to a text message right in front of her. Later, he drives her to an unknown location where she walks straight into a surprise birthday party arranged by Travis. It turns out everything had been planned in advance to make her happy, and Parker was only bringing her there at the final moment. After an awkward conversation, Abby decides to drink as much as possible and enjoy herself. Parker watches her closely. Shepley and America have a small argument but reconcile moments later and head to the bedroom. Parker comes over to say goodbye before leaving the party. Abby tries to convince him to stay, but he explains that she needs to resolve things with Travis because she's clearly in love with him. When Abby denies it, he leans in to kiss her. She pulls back and everything becomes painfully clear. Parker leaves the party and Abby tries to keep drinking.
Travis stops her and takes her out of the party. Abby still refuses to forgive him, explaining that a crowded party full of strangers is not enough to restore the trust he broke. Travis tells her he cares about her too much and can't spend even a single day away from her. Abby responds with a long, passionate kiss, and the two of them slip into the bathroom. When they're done, Abby now wants another kiss, but knowing she won't remember any of this tomorrow, Travis admits the truth. He's hopelessly in love with her. She teases him, then she steps out to grab a drink. In her drunken haze, she calls Vegas and gives her father her exact location on the night of her own birthday. Mick tells her how much he misses her and wants to see her, and the call ends just as Travis returns. The next morning, Travis waits for Abby to wake up, then heads to the kitchen to make her breakfast. She goes to shower, and upon seeing Travis, she asks him to give her a birthday massage. He starts, and soon things escalate dangerously. They spend the entire day together and fall asleep in each other's arms that night. The next day, on her way back to the dorm, Abby is approached by a stranger. He asks her to come with him, but she refuses. He explains that her father has made a bad bet, and if she doesn't come back to Vegas, they'll break his legs. Abby immediately heads to Texas to prevent anything from happening to her father. Once she arrives in Texas, Travis texts her asking her to call him, but Abby has more urgent matters to deal with. After learning she's missing, her friends try to track her down. America locates her in Texas. Travis speeds straight there. He discovers Abby's gambling-addict father owes $100,000, and payment is due immediately. The man wants his money and doesn't care that Abby has retired from gambling. He demands the full amount by midnight, or her father will be crippled. Abby agrees to win the money for them. A room is prepared for her so she can get ready to gamble. She carries a stun gun in case anything goes seriously wrong. Alone and with a stormy determination in her expression, she heads toward the gaming hall. She collects her chips and decides to run her poker play right there in the small club. She approaches the stranger's table and slips into their game using a clever trick. She pretends to be an inexperienced player to push her opponents into taking bigger risks. Soon after, she manages to pull $100,000 out of their pockets and humiliates them, knowing they had refused to let her join their game earlier. After making a phone call, she heads toward the exit with the chips in hand, but Abby is stopped at the last second by the security team. Because she's underage, she's not allowed to cash out the chips, and the entire $100,000 is confiscated. She had anticipated this might happen, but chose to take the risk anyway for the sake of her father's life.
Distraught, Abby calls her father and tells him what happened. She begs Mick to leave town immediately. After the call, she goes to the debt collector to tell him the truth. Meanwhile, Travis arrives at the tracked location and, before it's too late, handles all of them decisively. Then he goes after Abby. After another heated argument, Travis finally admits once again that he loves Abby and that all of this chasing was because he cares about her. A new generation rose out of cruel circumstances. After the chaos settles, Travis learns the full amount of Abby's debt and decides to fight the final boss to pay it off. The debt collector calls, and Travis proposes the idea of a fight to clear the debt, and the collector agrees. When Abby wakes up, America shares Shepley's story with her. In a video message, Travis assures her that he will win the fight and wipe out the debts for both her and her father.
As she leaves the hotel, Abby discovers that her father has been working with the club's security the whole time to extort her daughter. After knocking out the so-called pretty boy, Abby confronts her father, scolds him for what he's done, and orders him out of the car. She speeds toward the fight venue.
Abby, realizing what's happening, tries to warn Travis about the setup, but he's getting ready for the match and can't answer his phone. He steps into the ring to face his terrifying opponent, a fight where the first person to die loses. At the same time, Abby is stuck outside, waiting in the slow-moving line. The fight begins, and the desert brute viciously attacks Travis and even Shepley. In the final moments, Abby intervenes, causing a fire in the hall that forces the match to stop, allowing them to escape. Travis, still able to feel the air filling his lungs, survives. Back at the hotel, Abby finally admits her love for Travis, and the two share a passionate kiss. Shepley struggles back to Sacramento on his motorcycle. Abby and Travis head to Mick's new car. As Travis rummages through his bag for clothes, he finds a pile of cash, the very money Abby won in the poker game. After a drink, they kiss again. They decide to stay in Vegas a little longer and celebrate.